Ooh, do I have an end-of-season showdown for you, my friends? We are one win away from promotion to the National League, and there's only one team that can stop us. Yes, today's opponents. We're away at Eastbourne Borough, so let's get this job done. Greetings, my excellent friends, and welcome back to episode 14 of The Director of Moneyball. I'm Kirk Sheridan, and this is a very special way to finish the season. It was written in the stars, preordained, it was inevitable. We are away from home at Eastbourne Borough. Both teams have already secured a playoff spot, but we are 8 points clear. Within the last few matches, Eastbourne have finally dropped some points, which gave us the opportunity to pull clear. You saw us lose to Maidstone in the last episode when we went down to 10 men, but since then we've just kept on rolling and we could finish this today. Victory over Eastbourne Borough at their place, and we are champions. There is no point waiting around. Let's get straight into this. It was just meant to be, wasn't it? Eastbourne Borough have been in such strong form this year. I saw this game coming on the schedule towards the end of the season, and I thought it couldn't possibly come together that this is the place where we could seal the title, surely. And it has. They are lining up with a 4-3-3 formation, and we will be lining up with our 4-2-3-1 street up front, a first choice team without a shadow of a doubt. Talent Ayite now a permanent fixture in defensive midfield. Eastbourne have scored a lot of goals, so we are behind them on goal difference. We need to make sure we get more points in the bag this season than Eastbourne Borough. I believe in this team. I believe in Ben Watson, thinking about what... Oh, gosh. It was nearly a dreadful way to start the match. But thinking about what Ben has achieved this year and last year. Remember, he took over and the team was in decline. Ever since he joined, we've been on the up. Just a relentless form machine. New players have come in. Joe Wright, what are you doing? That is a... Oh... Just what? I mean, Joe, are you... What? We've been the best defensive team in the league this year, and we go and do that. Joe Wright is supposed to be a big game player. He likes big matches. He's not afraid of them. This is not how this episode was supposed to go. This is completely against the script. What is going on? And they've got another opportunity, but Tizard plays it back to Collins. Wright has an opportunity to make up for his error earlier. It comes to Street. Talent Ayite picks the ball up, plays it back to Cordner. Cordner to Norville Williams, to Hughes. A good period of possession for us here. We're not playing that Route 1 football that we had been earlier in the year. Street has an opportunity. He's cleaned through. And it is 1-1. Yes! You might be able to judge I'm getting a little bit excited by the fact that we're on the verge of promotion to the National League. It is at least a year earlier than any of our players were expecting. And of course, the board and supporters were only expecting a playoff finish this year. So if we can secure this promotion, we are well ahead of the targets the club has set us. And it isn't looking unlikely. We haven't created a huge amount in that half, but we've dominated possession. We could get 3 points here today. I believe in the boys. I believe in Ben to make it happen. I need your positive vibes, people. Give me your positive vibes. There we go. Positive vibes. There's a highlight for us. Norville Williams to Mundle. And it's 2! Thank you for your positive vibes. Oh, goodness me. That was brilliant. So Norville Williams with a beautifully chipped free kick there. Mundle should never have taken that on. He should have been looking for far on the right wing there at the back post, but what a fantastic effort. And we now have a corner. It's Hughes to the far post, doesn't quite get there. Collins to Hughes. He's got an opportunity. He's going to take this on, and it's 3. We're going up. Oh my word, we are going up. This director of football thing actually works. Pick the right assistant manager, give them the right players, let them take control, and beautiful things can happen. Just like that goal. Come on, the Rebels! The Mackerel Men! Honestly, given the form that Eastbourne were in, I thought we'd probably actually lose today, and it wouldn't be quite the celebration, but that was nearly 4. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Ote and Kilgore on now to see out the last few minutes of the match. We're just not giving Eastbourne any opportunity to get back in this at all, he says. But Whittingham manages to get on the end of it. And Norville Williams doesn't pick it up. That left-back slot causing us problems again. And we've given away a penalty. Oh! If they score this penalty, this is going to be a ropey final few minutes. Oh, right. Dive the correct way. Right, hold on. A minute and a half plus injury time. Get these 3 points in the bag, and we've got the title, lads. Come on! Title celebration at Eastbourne Borough, rubbing it in their faces. How good is this? The guy giving out the trophy seems to have red sunglasses on. He's a very cool looking dude. And Worthing. It's a shame it's not our actual, red colours. But I don't care. I don't care if it's blue. It could be purple. It could be yellow. Anything will do. We are going up. This is phenomenal. Well, the rest of this episode I think is likely to be a little check-in on the final season results. We've got 3 more matches to go. So I'll show you how they play out, and then we'll review the season ahead of what's going to be a very interesting summer of transfers as we build a squad to stay in the National League. Budgets are in, and the board are going to let me keep hold of some of that money we brought in at the start of the season. 13.75k per week will be our wage budget, and a transfer budget of £146,000. Our bank balance is just so healthy. We've been able to maintain it at a very strong level, helped of course by that away day at Barnsley in the FA Cup earlier in the season. There's one thing I will do straight away here. I will ask again if we can improve our training facilities. We've increased our youth recruitment and our youth facilities already this year. I'd like to see those training facilities improved as we go up to the next level. To be honest, sometimes I really don't understand our board. They've rejected my request to improve our training facilities because of the club's present financial situation, which you have just seen. We have over £500,000 in the bank that I don't want to spend, apart from on these training facilities. Maybe when the season's officially ticked over and we are actually on paper in the National League, maybe then that'll convince them. Ben Watson getting the plaudits from the press there. The non-league paper have said, congratulations, you've sealed the Vanarama South title. How does this moment feel? And he is absolutely delighted. Everyone has worked so hard to bring the title home. We have done it. Needless to say, I'm now very, very pleased that we have him signed up until the end of next season on that 2-year contract that I was rather uncertain about earlier in the year. On a slightly different note, I just want to point out a little touch that proves to me you can really play FM23 as Director of Football in a truly immersive way. This interview with the manager of Cheshunt, who we're playing in our next match having secured the title, he's been asked how he feels about coming up against Ben Watson given his title triumph. So the game does keep a record of it. The game knows that he has been in charge of the team. So much so that 2 years in, I'm still every match day getting a notification that I'm on the verge of making my managerial debut. That's one thing I wish we could switch off. And Ben absolutely deserves all the credit. I must say I agree wholeheartedly with Jack. Nobody deserves it more than Ben. And we picked up a comfortable 3-1 victory against Cheshunt. 2 goals for Ote, 1 for McLeod, and a late penalty. A ball from Mundell over to Daly, and a through ball from Daly that was just fluffed by the Cheshunt defender, set Ote free to score the opener. Then second half penalty into the keeper's top right-hand corner that he couldn't quite get a hand to from Ote for his second. Whittingham with a corner to McLeod. Us making the most of those set pieces again this season, and that late penalty which sent Joe Wright the wrong way. That victory sends us over the 100-point mark. I believe the record for National League South points in one season is 103. So one more win or even 2 draws in our final 2 games, and we set another record. Why not, Ben? Just get as many as you can. 2 of our players on the shortlist for the National League South Player of the Season award. Rob Street, scorer of 25 goals so far. And Samuel McLeod, who has been just a dominant force in defensive midfield for us this year. My vote's going to Leon Gravata. He's had 36 goal contributions in 36 matches for Eastbourne Borough. They would not be where they are right now without him. Well, it isn't to be just yet, but we are on the verge. We've got 103 points now, a 95th minute equaliser from Truro kept us from picking up the 3 points to get us the National League South record. Saunders picked up the ball, ran confidently down the flank and basically drilled a low ball across, which Ote managed to slide in ahead of the defender to put away. And then just a bit of unfortunate defending, a good block there, but then a deflection off. No, Collins couldn't quite actually get to the ball ahead of Neil. Sadly, we failed to pick up the 3 points we need, but we go again. One more match, Weymouth at home on the last day of the season. And what a disappointing way to end the season, at home against the team in 14th place. And it looks like our boys had just switched off, looking forward to the summer and looking forward to kicking off next year in the National League. We had 60% of the possession and a higher XG, but we lost 2-1. We scored an absolutely fantastic goal to start the first half. A phenomenal through ball from McLeod. Street then playing it back to Hughes, who slotted in from the edge of the penalty area. Beautifully placed finish. But sadly, Weymouth then scored 2 goals that are very familiar because they look like ones that we've scored countless times this season. First, ball in from the left wing after a hoofed ball up from the back, and a repeat essentially from the other side. The ball comes out of midfield right over to the right wing, and the striker gets just ahead of the defender. We should have done better. But quite frankly, who cares? Because we're champions and we finished 13 points clear of second placed Eastbourne Borough. We were the 3rd top scorers. We had the fewest shots against us of any team in the division by a long way. That's how solid our defence was. 2nd most shots for. Bath were way out front in terms of average possession, but given my concerns early in the season, we had the 4th best possession statistics in the division. And you can certainly see that change in style over the last few matches that we've played. 20 clean sheets and only 33 goals conceded in 46 matches. Rob Street got 25 goals for us, but he was nowhere near the top scorer in the division. Cody Cook at the age of 31 getting 39 goals in 38 appearances. That's the kind of record that would make me want to snap him up as we go up to the National League, but obviously age of 31, nope, Moneyball rules do not allow. Rob did get most player of the matches though. Almost 1 in 3 of the matches that he played, he was the most valuable player on that pitch. Before we get to the season review, I must show you some of our top prospects from the youth candidates this year. There are a couple who are yet to sign up because they didn't want to take the initial contract that was offered, but most of them are on board. Brett Newman, at 15 years old, has fantastic potential as a left wing back. And we currently have 9 5 or 4.5 star potential players in our under-18 squad. This is absolutely fantastic for a Moneyball save. So let's take a look back at this most glorious of seasons in charge of Worthing Football Club as the Director of Football. Absolutely zero surprises that Rob Street has been named Signing of the Season. 43 appearances, 31 goals in all competitions. He's exactly the kind of striker that we needed to fit in with Ben's style of play. Tizzard almost an ever-present at the back with 40 appearances. Mundell with 19 goal contributions, still in terms of ability the strongest player at the club, yet to find that consistency. But he's still young, he's 21 years old. Don't forget that most of these players I'm bringing in are still very, very young and will only get better. Collins is one of the older players who I brought in, 25 at the time of signing. He played 42 matches for us, all across the back line and in defensive midfield, so his versatility was absolutely key. And Cordner barely put a foot wrong since joining for that £1,000, the first player we've actually spent any money on. Joe Wright, proving to be solid as a replacement for Harrison Mayle. And Alarakia, despite being usurped towards the end of the season, early on, was absolutely brilliant. James Daly, though, probably hasn't done enough to justify me signing him on a permanent contract. So we might well be letting him go. And Alfie Kilgore, I was expecting more from, actually. He's only signed up until the end of the season, but hasn't done enough to warrant me making him our highest paid central defender. And Charlie Farr, disappointing to see him not perform at a higher level. All in all, though, good transfer business this year. We reached the first round of the FA Cup before getting knocked out by Barnsley. £100,000 that brought in for us, so a very successful FA Cup competition as far as I'm concerned. FA Trophy, less of a run, only going out to higher division opposition. Our biggest win was that 5-0 victory away at Bognor in the FA Cup. Match to remember, unsurprisingly, the one where we won the league. Goal of the season, Thomas Hughes, who picked up the ball from a throw-in, jinked past the midfield and didn't... from the edge of the box. Beautiful finish. Quite rightly our goal of the season, I think. Matchday commercial and retail up on last year. Competition prize money up. Corporate and hospitality up. Broadcast revenue up. Sponsorship down. Not that you can tell the difference. The major driver, though, was obviously those transfers and selling Finn Stevens' sell-on clause at the beginning of the year. We sold 437 shirts as well. Mundell with the most shirts sold. Street, Hughes, Daly and Ote. Daly on the list. Very surprising to see that. 10% of our sales, so 43 shirts, were sold non-domestically. That can only be overseas Football Manager players, surely. Team of the year then, Joe Wright in goal. Great to see him taking Harrison Mayle's slot there. Norville Williams on the left. Again, though, left back, the lowest rating of all of our defensive players, so that's a position I have to upgrade again this summer. Rules of Moneyball clearly dictate upgrade your weakest positions first. Racine, Tizard and Collins making up the rest of the back four. Whittingham and McLeod sitting in front of them. With Hughes on the left, he would have got that 7 rating at least if it wasn't for that dreadful performance where he picked up a 5.9, which we saw in the last episode. Charlie Farr gets the right wing spot. Mundell and Street, obviously the final 2 places in the Team of the Year. Samuel McLeod is Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. And Rob has set a few club records here. Most league goals by a player in a season. Most goals in a league match. Most Player of the Match awards in a season. Racine is now our oldest player. We've obviously paid a transfer fee for Tyler Cordner and received a transfer fee for Jack Maidlin. And there's that beautiful, beautiful trophy. We looked a class above in the first couple of months of the season. Few will have expected this outcome. No, I did not expect us to continue that form as relentlessly as we did all the way through the year. But we have reaped the rewards. Ben, huge credit to you. Huge credit to the rest of the backroom team. Quite a few changes to our best 11 then. Mayle still taking that goalkeeper slot, but Norville Williams is in on the left. Tizard also into the centre of defence. But Lewis White and Miles Meekums hold their places on the wings, while Street and Mundell take the slots up front. The big question now, of course, the huge question, is what do the board expect next year? We know what our budget's going to be. It's pretty significant. But surely the board don't expect us to get promoted again. Surely they're not even expecting the playoffs. Next year, surviving in the National League and stabilising, for me, would be a very good outcome. Let's see what the board expect. They want us to be defensively solid, play possession football, high-tempo pressing football. Seems like the kind of things Ben is happy to do. And they simply want us to attempt to avoid relegation. Well, looks like we might have a free pass. Apparently we're still working towards repairing the club's financial damage. I'm not sure where it is. We've got £500,000 in the bank. That hasn't gone anywhere. I know that there's some debt, but we're happily paying it off at the moment. So over the next few years, continue being an established Vanarama national team. Well, I'm very happy to accept that current vision. The next step up is going to be a challenge. It's going to be very interesting to see how Ben does at that higher level of football. But Ben has achieved everything I could have asked of him and more. He set a points record for Worthing Football Club. 103 points this season. And I'm going to tell this squad that they've earned the right to test themselves at the next level. That I have faith we can avoid getting involved in a relegation battle. Oh, no. Pressure on, eh? Well, that says a lot. Most of the squad don't think they're good enough to avoid a relegation. So let's say we'll battle hard against the drop. Just work as hard as you can. That's fine. That is a surprise. We've absolutely dominated the National League South, and this squad have no faith whatsoever that they're not just going to go straight back down again. Well, the squad are now on holiday, and that team meeting has just given me a very clear view of how important the next 2 months are going to be for this particular director of football. I have a lot of upgrading to do. We'll go through that in the next episode, along with the Moneyball scorecard for Season 2, where I assess my performance against my Director of Football duties, and also, of course, the 9 rules of Moneyball. So join me again soon for that. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, drop a like on it. Send me a comment to see what you think of this second season as well. It's been incredible from my perspective, but I'm trying to do something a little bit different here, as you know. All of your feedback is welcome, as always. And in the meantime, be excellent to each other. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on to find out the second the next video drops, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much for watching.